Hey, it's me again, Gregory Rutledge, also known as G-Wiz. So I just wanted to go live because it's so much easier. I don't have to edit any videos and I don't have to get everything right. The book signing is this Thursday and it is from 4 to 7. It will be in North Richland Hills. You can DM me to get the information on where it'll be, as I just don't want to put that information out there for the world right now because everything is public and not everyone is my friend. So DM me if you pre-ordered the book and you have not gotten your book yet and you are local. I will be doing a book signing event and a Q&A. So would love to see you there so that I can sign it. And I just want to talk about the heart behind the book. Originally, it was going to be, I have no idea what I'm doing, and that's why it's working. Because that's my life. It's all these coincidences strung together to make up something amazing. And I don't know what God's doing. I really don't. I wrote the book, and I don't feel like I thought I should feel. And I'm sure there's other authors that feel like this, and there's other authors that are coming up that want to write a book that don't know the pitfalls and the dangers and, all the things to look out for. So I would love to answer all those questions that you have, whether you're an upcoming author or, you're an author and you read the book, or someone that's just read the book. There's a couple people that tried to, take it in pieces and they couldn't stop reading. They got halfway through and then they finished it in a couple days. So I keep hearing it's a really good book. The heart behind it was, I struggled a lot. I didn't get a lot of love or a lot of attention or a lot of help growing up and doing things. It was just like I had to figure it out myself. And I wish somebody would have given me a roadmap. And I wrote this for anyone that's been told that they were too much or not enough, or that they were broken, or that they needed to simmer down. They, you're not broken. You're not too much. You are greater. You were put here for a purpose. There are people that only you can talk to. And every minute that you shrink trying to make someone else comfortable or someone else less uncomfortable, you are keeping yourself from showing up from people who may literally be dying because they don't have you to lead them through the thing. And I know there's people out there that only I can reach, just like there's people that only you can reach. And you're watching this. I know that you can relate to this. Like, you've wanted to show up. You've wanted to just hit record. You've wanted to just write that book. You've wanted to just make that big leap, whatever it is. And you're shrinking because your third grade teacher told you were stupid, or you're shrinking because your mom told you to get a real job and that being a creative is not a real job. You're doing something to downplay your greatness. From waiter to greater is a double entendre. You can be a waiter in a restaurant right now and getting some of the best skills, I might argue, that anyone can get, and don't even realize that you can leverage that in a six-figure job. You can leverage that in a business. Like, there are skills that you get from waiting tables that can take you to new heights. Communication being the main one. Communication and the ability to think on your feet and create experiences for people that wow them and make them want to give you more money than what the bill is worth, right? It's a double entendre because also you could be waiting to do something that you should do, you have the ability to do, you just think you need some kind of permission slip or certification or degree before you can do it. I'm proof that you can do it without a degree. I have my associates, but I don't really have an associate's, but an associate's was never required on any of my jobs. And the one place it was required, the one place that argued with me for it, was Michael's, who was paying $18 an hour, and they were arguing over 3 credits. I had to go get my transcript and prove that I had 60 something credits. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. But I get into the higher paid 6-figure jobs where I'm actually making billion-dollar decisions in boardrooms with billionaires, and they don't care about my degree. They care about my ability to solve problems and communicate ideas to people. They care about my ability to middle manage large projects and make order out of chaos. And I can do that peacefully because of ADHD. That's where it's my superpower. You're not alone. Like, you're waiting to be great when you're already great. You're already greater. I remember when I got the job at Texas Roadhouse, it was like, God, really? You want me to go work at Texas Roadhouse? And maybe I didn't hear him clearly enough. Maybe he wanted me to do bulk book sales and he wanted me to go talk to the GM about that. But I just went and got the job. I worked a couple days, and it was like, a friend of mine called me and they're like, I don't understand what you're doing. You're already greater, from waiter to greater. Like, you're already greater. What are you doing? You don't have to go back to the bottom and prove that this thing works. You can show that it works at a different level, because it does. This worked for me, waiting tables to going into corporate. It worked for me in the any arena I've stepped into. These 7 principles that are in the book, the Greater Framework, they have worked because they're principles. They're God's automation. They're, no matter where you take principles, they work the same. So grounding in your unique story, knowing who you are, whose you are, why you're here, is like the foundation of everything. And then there's limiting beliefs that you've been programmed with. So you got to reframe those limiting beliefs. That's the R. Reframe those limiting beliefs. And then E, you've got to embrace continuous learning. So what is that? What is continuous learning? Continuous learning is what I just went through on my YouTube video. It's, there's a loss that feels like a setback, but it really was a lesson. So what can I learn from it? Every situation you go through, you can choose to be grateful or you can choose to be miserable about it. You can choose to complain or you can choose to praise. But either way, you have to embrace it so that you can learn from it, so that you can level up. The next is action, action-oriented goals. We are not in the business of outcomes. We're in the business of taking action. So I don't care how good your goals are and how specific and mapped out they are. You want to make God laugh, make plans. Do you know how many things I've planned that haven't gone through, and how many things I can't explain how they happened, and they just happened and it worked out way better than anything I could have ever planned? Fall in love with the process of doing the thing. That's where everything will level up for you, is in the, I'm doing the thing and I don't care about the outcome. That's when the sugar on top, the gravy, the whatever you call it, the cherry on top, that's when, like, the money, the success, that's all a byproduct of falling in love with taking action. Then transitioning with purpose. That's the T. I can't even see. Why are you transitioning from wherever you are to wherever you want to be, from your waiter to your greater? Why are you making that transition? Again, we're anchoring you in that story. So you're grounded in your story, but why are you transitioning from where you are now to where you want to be? That why is going to drive you, because you can try to figure out what, how, where, when, who, and drive yourself mad. But when you know why, what, why, who, when, where, that all like works itself out. If I know why I'm doing something, it doesn't matter what comes against me. The why will keep me going when everything else, let's go. She's at work Thursday, well, she'll be there. Yes. When you know why, it's going to drive you. Thank you, Zoe. If I know, like, think about all of the greatest causes, right? Martin Luther King had a dream. He had a strong why. And that was just a speech that changed the world. Steve Jobs knew why he was inventing the iPhone and Apple in general. It was to create great experiences. And it's become a $1 trillion business on one why. So if you want to be great, you can just stop there. Ground in your story and reframe limiting beliefs, embrace continuous learning, have action-oriented goals, and transition with purpose. Stop there. You want to be great, right? It's selfish, but you can stop there. You can just be great. But if you want to be greater, you have to find a network to empower. Empower your network. Like, who's behind you that needs to get to the next level? Turn around and help them. When you get to the mountaintop, when you get to your goal, turn around and see who hasn't got there yet, that's still struggling, and reach a hand out. Hey, can I help you get here? I see you're struggling. Yeah. Do you want to see what I did to get here? I wrote a book. Anybody trying to write a book? I can show you how I did it. It's kind of cool. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was. And I dropped about $7,000 on a book coach. You can do it that way. That's cool. It works. I could show you how to get at least ready for that, or how to get the money for it. It was a great experience. I used Tony Shavers. I think it's Tony Shavers the third, or T Shavers. I'll drop the link somewhere in the description, but he's amazing. You can book with him. He can consult with you for free to see if you even need him, or like where you need to go with it. He's got different packages. It was an amazing experience. But empower your network, because your network is your net worth. I know you hear it all the time, but The people you surround yourself, the 5 people you surround yourself or spend the most time with are the people you're going to be like. They're older people in the world that used to always say, show me who your friends are, I'll show you where you're going. And I never understood that until I realized that everything my friends do, no matter which group of friends that is, I end up doing the same thing they're doing, because we have mirror neurons. We just do the thing that the people around us are doing. If everyone is wearing a helmet in an elevator, I saw this the other day, everyone was putting on these random helmets in an elevator, and the guy that was in the elevator first didn't put it on. And as people started putting on the helmets and just standing there in the elevator, he started to question, should I put this helmet on? Like, am I the weird one for not putting it on? And so he finally, after everyone just stayed quiet, did not, he ended up putting the helmet on, and then they all got off the elevator. And this lady was explaining how we have mirror neurons and we just mirror the people that are around us. So who are you surrounding yourself with? Who are you empowering, and who's empowering you? And then the R, resilience in the face of setbacks. And that's what my latest YouTube video that I just went live about was on, is about the resilience, right? Because setbacks are what's going to come. And that I saved that. Jeanette, thank you for saying this. I saved this comment for now because she's ready to finish her Soul Foodly cookbook. If you don't know who Jeanette Dent is, she is the Soul Foodly vegan, and she makes food so good it makes you want to slap your mama. And listen, I haven't got to try any of it yet, but I know just from her soul, her personality, the way we met, the way that she shows up live, the way that she doesn't give up, even when things come against her. Like, we started this cookbook, we got it 90% done. And here's what happens. When you write a book, you're going to get 90% done, and this voice is going to come alive, and it's going to say, who do you think you are? Stop. Don't do it. Rewrite it. It's not good enough. You're not good enough. And that is all a lie. There is this voice that keeps telling me, don't build your funnel. Don't do anything with your business. Just give up. Go get a job again. Boy, if I listen to that voice, there are a lot of people that I'm meant to help that I won't be able to help. And so, Jeanette, I thank you. I'm ready to get your book out there. I know, look, girl, I know how to do it now, and it looks good. It looks real good. If I may say so myself, you can't see it because of the glare, but I'm just going to read a random call out. I love these little call outs here. Right here. So this one says, fear is a mile wide and a mile high, but it's paper thin. Mile wide, mile high. Seems scary. Think about standing in front of something that's a mile high. Like, you can't even see a mile really, right? But it's a mile high that you're looking up, and it's a mile wide, and it's like, oh my God, this thing is so huge, but it's paper thin. What happens when you, I don't have a piece of paper here to show you, but what happens when you bust through paper, right? It just, and then you can't put it back together unless you tape it, but then it's just paper. That's how fear is. Fear is just this big giant thing that, and it's not fear unless there's like a grizzly bear or a lion like 3 feet from you and your life is threatened. You're really not experiencing fear. What you're experiencing is anxiety. You're telling yourself a story in which you lose or something bad happens. And one thing Myron Golden told me when I was in his program was, tell yourself better stories. Tell yourself stories where you win in the end. Tell yourself stories that empower you. If everything I'm telling myself already is something I made up, I might as well tell some story that makes me the victor in the end. So, yeah, the devil starts throwing those darts and daggers. So that's the greater framework. That's how anyone can level up from where they are. The book signing is Thursday from 4 to 7. I will be there at 3 setting up. I have all the books. I ordered them. It's been a pain in my whatever to try and get this whole thing done. But now that it's done, everyone that's read it has felt the push to level up, and they are doing it, whether it's by choice or whether they got laid off and now they have nothing but opportunity to do it. It is just beautiful to see it actually working. Let's go. Zoe says, my husband and I have been developing a game for a decade. We need to get on it. They're so proud of me. Thank you. Let's get on it. let me know how I can help. Jeanette says, love it. She knows it's good. Um, so I would love to see y'all there. Bring a friend if you want. I have some extra copies, and I would love to get a copy in their hands as well. I think it's going to be an amazing event. It's going to be in North Richland Hills. We've got this little auditorium. There's like a desk, and then it's like stadium seating, or like one of those college rooms, and there's like 70-ish seats. So there's going to be a moderator. They're going to ask me questions about the book. You can ask questions about the book. You can ask questions about, having this thing that you've been wanting to develop and not doing it, and how you can apply these principles to go just get on it. The principle that comes to mind is action-oriented goals. You have a game that you've had developed or have been developing for a decade. Well, the thing that comes to mind is, what's the fastest thing you can prototype in a week? Like, what's the fastest thing you can get out there to get some feedback so you can know what works, what doesn't, whether the market even needs it, and then go back to the drawing board and start making it better. That's the first thing that comes to mind. The other thing is resilience, right? If you've already been doing it for a decade, like, what's the best that can happen? What's the story that you can tell yourself about this game you've been developing that would actually make you want to do it? I love Shanice. If you're still watching, thank you for being here. Does anybody have any questions for me? I need something to talk about. Like, give me a problem to solve. I just want to be on this live and help people live. I know I don't get to talk to everybody in my phone, and I always wanted to be famous and popular, and now I have like way more people than I could ever keep up with or get in touch with. It's just like overwhelming looking at my phone. If I showed you my text thread, like, you would probably puke. It is ridiculous. I don't know if you can see this, but I can scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, and where are we at? We're still in September. And then just scroll and scroll. You can't see it, but I can't keep up. So I need my people to hop on my lives. Said you were born famous. Probably. I get that a lot. And my plight, we all have our Achilles heel, or our thorn in our side. My thorn in my side has been, I love this question. I see it, Shanice. I'm gonna get to it just now. My thorn in my side has always been my ego. It's always been the entertainer that wants the attention. Like, it used to be when the camera came on, it was like, how stupid can I be? But now I know when the camera's on, it's like there's people to serve. So Shanice said, I love this. One thing you would do differently if you were back at day one. I'm gonna ask a clarifying question. Day one of writing the book, or day one of my life, or day one of this journey? I'm gonna assume it's day one of the book. One thing I would do differently is I would have started watching Myron Golden sooner to find out that there's a way to write a book without ever having to write a word. You outline the book and the thing that you're going to help people with. You have a title that's a clear word picture, from waiter to greater. This guy was a waiter and now he's greater, right? It tells the story in the title. The subtitle is a promise, how anyone can level up from where they are. That's a powerful promise. Then you have the chapter, the table of contents, which mine is trash. I was supposed to like redo it, and I was like, I'm done looking at this. I don't care. People aren't going to care. They're not really going to look at it anyway. They're just going to read the book. But every thing in my table of contents should be a complete thought, a complete sentence. They should know exactly what they're getting. And once you outline that, you create a masterclass, you charge people to come to it, you get paid to teach the stuff in the book, and you do that a couple times until you're completely comfortable with just spinning it off the top of your head. And then once that is done, you record it, right? Record them, and you get the best one, which is going to be the last one you do. You get the best one, and you package that up, and you sell it as a course or an upgrade for the book, an upsell for the $20 book, a $200, $2,000 course, right? Then you take the audio from it, and you turn that into the audio book. And you take the transcript and you take it to either an editor or ChatGPT and have it read like a manuscript that reads like a conversation. So it's a conversational tone to make it an easy read, because people can read a conversation. It's relatable. If I would have done that, I would have got paid to write the book, and I would have had fun writing the book, and people would have learned along the journey, and they would have been part of the process, right? It wouldn't have been me creating in the silo. And then you go to people that align with whatever your book's about. My book's about a lot, because there's 7 principles, and you charge them $1 for editorials for the first 30,000 copies. And you get about, I don't know, 5 different people, 5 to 10 people, and you make $150,000 to $300,000 that you can use for marketing and anything you need. And for the first 30,000 copies, there's a few ads in your book, but you've also got all the money you need to do the thing. If I would have known that before I started, like I almost felt like just scrapping the whole thing and starting over and doing it that way. But I was afraid to do the masterclass. I was afraid I wasn't good enough to teach these principles. I was afraid I didn't know enough. Like all of this, it's not even fear. All of this anxiety about what people would think. And so, yeah, that's what I would do if I was back to square one. Is I thank you. I love this response too. I don't know where it came from, to be honest. I think what's happening now live in front of you is I'm realizing that I have everything I need. I've been afraid to get on camera without a script or without some kind of outline, and I'm finding that if I just get out of the way, God can flow through me. I hope that this is resonating for you, and that some of you are getting something from this. Jeanette says it's about developing, growing, and timing. Absolutely. All 3 of those. Developing, becoming the person, growing into that person, and the timing is when you become that person, you will do from that person you've become and have what that person deserves. I love this. And yes, we are our own worst critics. Listen, I've gotten better. I used to hate the way I looked. I used to hate the way I sounded, the way my voice sounded. I used to hate the way I looked on camera. I used to be so overly critical of everything. I'm still critical, right? But the difference is it's like this much instead of this much, because there's this repetition of showing up. Like I remember one of my coaches in 2020, he gave us this challenge on Black Friday week to go live every day and teach someone something every day live for 5 days in a row. And on Black Friday, we'd make an offer, and then we would, say that the cart closes at the end of the day on Friday, then we'd extend it to Cyber Monday. And that by the middle of the first video, I was so comfortable with it. I was having fun. And now I don't even like, I think about you going live right now. Like if you were to hit live, there'd be this, oh my God, like that adrenaline rush. I don't get that anymore. I almost feel like when we level up, things start to feel boring. And then it's like, maybe I'm not doing it right because I don't get that same rush. It becomes boring when you level up, because what used to be foreign to you or hard for you becomes super easy. And then it feels like anyone can do this. But like, I'm blushing. I just read it the corner of my eye. Lost my train of thought. There's this cognitive bias called the curse of knowledge. And when we're learning something, there's this learning curve we have to go through. And we forget, once we learn the thing and we know it, we forget all of the struggle we had to go through to get that. And so we think, now that we know it, right, we see the world through our lens, we think everyone knows it. Like when you think critical of yourself, you think everyone else is thinking the same thing. But this comment that Zoe just left, you're so beautiful with an awesome smile. If only we were allowed to see ourselves through others' eyes. Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. I didn't read the full thing. I just saw okay. So if we saw ourselves the way other people saw us, we would have no fear. We would have no what's the word? We wouldn't be self-conscious of anything. We would just show up and shine that beautiful light that God put inside of us. And, like, God gave me a verse when Maddie got into her first wreck back in January or February. I, out of faith, said, don't worry, we'll get you a new car. I knew that my job was coming to an end. I didn't know how we were going to do that, but those words were spoken purely out of faith. And then we get a call that her car that she totaled, which was a 2011 Kia, it was not worth what they gave us, and they gave us like $6,400 for it. And that call came after the word of faith that said, we'll get you another one. We don't know how, but we will. I don't even think I said we don't know how. We just said we will. Like, that's the kind of faith you have to speak in, is we will, I can, I will, I must, I am. Anything that follows those words should be something empowering, not I am sleepy, I am faulty, I am broken. Like, you don't say those things. I can, I will, I must, I am, I declare, I claim, right? I will. So I walked out of her room that day and I got this verse, Jeremiah 1:17. And I heard it loud and clear. It's like that it's God, right? It's a voice not of my own. And I went to my room to read it, and it said, get yourself ready, stand up and say to them whatever I command you. Do not be terrified by them, or I will terrify you before them. And I was like, interesting. What am I getting ready for again? And I read a little bit of 18, and then I was like, this don't apply to me. This is Bible times, right? Today I've made you a fortified city, an iron pillar, and a bronze wall to stand against the whole land, against the kings of Judah, its officials, its priests, and the people of the land. And I stopped reading there. Guys, this is crazy. So then we go to the Kia dealership later to look at some cars. We're finding her dream car. And let's go. We're going to get those books out, Jeanette. So we go to the dealership. As we pull up, we meet with the car dealer. His name is Emmanuel. Emmanuel means God with us. So the salesman's name is Emmanuel. We go in, I hear over the intercom, Matthew to the front, Matthew. So I was like, okay, all these godly names, this is weird. And this guy comes in the wrong room right as Maddie's having this freak out because she can't leave with the car that day because they got to clean it up and all that. Remember, man's rejection is God's protection, right? So there was a reason she didn't get that car. But he comes in there and he's just got this calm, soft voice. And his name is Joseph Andrew Bethel. So Joseph, the guy who had the dream and who went through all those problems. Andrew, I can't remember who Andrew is in the Bible. Wasn't he like one of the disciples? I know it's a godly name. And then Bethel means the house of God, right? Oh, whoa. Okay, so that was mind-blowing. Then I tell him about getting that verse earlier. He slams his phone down in front of me and is like, brother, I got one better for you. So he gives me his card. I see his name. Then he slams his phone down, and his phone was Jeremiah 1:19. It's almost as if God was saying, read the rest of the verse. And so I read it on his phone, and it said, they will fight against you, but will not overcome you, for I am with you and I will rescue you, declares the Lord. So I've been stressed about money, about provision, about all these things, thinking, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't know what I'm gonna do, God. And he said to get yourself ready. And here's what happens for me. And I don't know how it is for you, but I'm just gonna share my story. I have to get mad. I have to be so sick and tired of myself and my BS of being afraid and not trusting God and doing things I shouldn't be doing. And I just have to be so mad at myself that there's nothing else standing in my way than just showing up and doing what God told me to do anyway. I wish that when God told me something, the time between what he told me to do and what I actually did and when I actually did it was like this small. But why I have to bump my head so many times before I just show up and do the thing that he's been asking me to do, I don't know. But this is probably the most vulnerable and real I've ever been on camera. And I want more of this. I love that y'all are here with me and you're watching this and you're commenting and you're having this moment with me. And I mean, if someone wants to hop on camera with me, I'll drop the link for y'all to let's have a conversation. I know not everybody's ready to hop on live, but this is my challenge to you to level up. Hop on live with me. I'm dropping the StreamYard link. We can have a conversation. I think it went to YouTube, and that's the old to YouTube at the official G-Wiz. If you want to hop on, I'll see you backstage. We'll have a conversation, but get yourself ready and say exactly as I tell you. Now, God gives me a little thing every day, and the thing that happens is I get the idea. It's a beautiful idea. Someone needs to hear this, and then it gets put through this filter of Alex Hormozy and Myron Golden and all these reels I watch, and it's like, well, you have to have a hook. You have to have suspense. You have to have a payoff. You have to raise the stakes. You have to do all these things. You have to do marketing, and you have to have sales, and all of these things that make you feel like, oh my God, if I don't do this, I'm not going to succeed. And like, if you really look at the case studies of everyone that's successful, it's when they like threw away all of that advice and just started showing up and being themselves. That's when they took off. So what I'm doing is I'm throwing all of my knowledge in the trash because it's BS, right? It's just knowledge until it's applied. And then I'm going to apply what I already know to work, what has already worked for me. I'm at 5,000 followers on, I think, all my socials except for Instagram and TikTok. And like, that didn't happen by me following scripts and following all these rules that people are suggesting or putting out there for content. Like, it didn't happen by following that. It happened by being myself. And so I encourage you today, be yourself. Like, be you, who you are. Like, don't be afraid to show up for the world with your passion. Like, I tell you to be courageous and passionate, or be bold and courageous, do everything you do with passion. You'll have a life that you love. But why am I not bold and courageous, living with passion, doing, you know, having the life I love? It's because I'm really good at telling you to do it because I know you can do it. I believe in you, right? Like, y'all believe in me. My wife believes in me more than she believes in herself. And she's struggling right now because she's watching me flounder and fail, but she still loves me. She's still there for me. And guys, I've never had that. I don't even know how to receive it. I've actually told her it's sometimes is like, could you just tell me I can't? Could you just tell me like I suck and that I'm never going to succeed so my rebel can come out and I can actually do it? Because I feel like sometimes when she tells me I can, it's like the rebel in me wants to show her that I can't. And so I sabotage. And like, I don't know why I'm wired backwards, but this love that she's been pouring into me for the last 10 years is starting to slowly rewire that damage, that trauma, that whatever that has had me wired backwards for so long. And so today I'm declaring like I'm killing the rebel. I don't care what it says I need to do backwards or whether it wants me to do things backwards. I'm gonna do what God told me to do. And he told me to show up for you right after the live. And I was like, really? Like, go back live? Well, yeah, because your emails aren't going out to the people that pre-ordered your book. They paid their money. They need that level up too, and they're not getting it. I ordered a bunch of like the little mail packets for me to mail these to the people that have pre-ordered, and I'm going to be working on that this weekend to get all of those out. And no matter how much it costs to get them out, I will figure it out. I'll make it happen. And you will get your books, and I can't wait to hear the reviews. There's a couple people that have read it all the way through, and I haven't got a review yet. I mean, Elijah left a review on Amazon, but it's beautiful. I need to know that this is working or that it's not working. If it's not working, be honest. Like, I need to know, because the second edition can be better. I'm already thinking of so many things I left out of the book, and I'm just beating myself up. But you know what? Done is better than perfect. So let me get back to these comments. This is a beautiful conversation. My son's football game starts in 19 minutes, so I have to head out. We'll definitely catch the remainder when I get back. Absolutely. Thank you. Go team. I don't know what team they are, but I know y'all gonna win. And if you don't, you're gonna learn. Absolutely. Authenticity. You can. Look, I think it's funny. I'm gonna share this last principle and then I'm gonna go. So if you are experiencing someone that's telling you that you can't, or that, you know, there's something wrong with you, like, let's say they say, you can't do that. That's not possible. If you just take you out and you replace it with I, they are talking to themselves through you. I can't do that. That's not possible. That's what they believe. That's their belief system. And so now they're trying to push it on you because they need you to fit into the box that allows them to think what they think about their world. Don't fall for it. When I say you can, I mean that. Because if I can, I know you can. And I know with the things I've been through, with the drug addiction I've struggled with the lust and immorality that I've struggled with in my life, to be where I am today, faithful to one woman, sober, and like, I don't remember August 2019, August 19th, 2019, last time I had a drink. I've not really wanted a drink since. That was the thing that for me took me down all the other pathways to the wrong things. The obsession and compulsion to use drugs has left because I've healed the wound that started that. Now there's other like roots to pull up and heal, but the main one is gone. So there's no desire to use anything to change the way I feel. I love the way I feel, and I love remembering how I felt. I love sinking down into my heart and feeling all of the feelings, all of the parts of life. And I just know that if people just saw themselves like I see them, like I believe in the possibilities, like Jeanette's saying, impossible means I'm possible. If I don't remember the guy's name, but there's a guy that has like no limbs, and he's like a speaker, and he goes everywhere, and like there's no limitations. Like if the guy with no arms and no legs can do it, if a lot of these people who've been multiple amputees can achieve amazing things, and I got all my limbs and all my phalange, I don't even know what these are called, digits, phalanges, I don't know. If I got all my fingers and I got all my extremities and breath in my lungs, I don't know why I'm over here complaining about anything, and I don't know why you are either. Guys, let's get up and be greater. Let's just do it. Like, what's the best that can happen? You can think what's the worst that can happen, and then you'll be focused on that. But I'm gonna challenge you to think what's the best that can happen. I think that's all I got. Anything else is gonna be my ego, so I'm gonna cut it off here. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, the book signing is Thursday from 4 to 7 in North Richland Hills. DM me for the address. I'm gonna create an event invite thing on Facebook here in a minute, and then put that out there, and you just say I'm coming, and the address is in there, and it's going to be in North Richland Hills on Boulevard 26 in a little auditorium inside a bank building, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to, cross-pollinate my audience, and you'll get to meet some pretty amazing people there. And yeah, come and have some fun. Get your copy of the book that you pre-ordered a year ago. Or a couple months ago, whatever, whenever you pre-ordered it, you'll finally have it in your hands. It's a physical copy. And yeah, let's build a community of people that are greater. Oh, one last announcement. The Greater University is now live on School, and it is for the rest of this month, $9 a month. If you sign up this month, you're one of the founding members. It's $9 a month for the rest of your lifetime. That it's there. It's $9 a month. Or here's the cool thing. $67 a year. Now, for $67, I go live once every Wednesday. It's Wednesday at 7 for the Greater University that I used to do just for free. I need you to pay attention, so I need you to pay something. And $67 seems trivial for a whole year. That's like less than $10 a month. Yeah, way less than, it's like less than $6 a month. Anyway, it's like 40% off. So it's like, I don't know, whatever. It's money. So that you can pay attention, because if you pay, you pay attention. And I'm going to be helping people through whatever it is that they're going through in the Greater University, so that we can apply and embody these principles, not just learn them, not just know them, but apply them. Like, actually do the thing that you need to do to level up. And by helping you level up, guess who else is going to level up? Guess who else is going to walk without this false events appearing real? Fear. Thank you, Jeanette. So yeah, that's there. I'll drop the link in the description. I need to put it somewhere on my bio or something so people can always see it. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you in 2 days. That's Thursday, this Thursday, the 18th from 4 to 7. I'll just say the address, whatever. 7001 Boulevard 26. I'm going to create the event after I log off here so that y'all can say you're going, sign up, and I will see you there. For those of you that are watching this that are in another state, I will mail it to you. I should have your address if you pre-ordered it from the website. If you pre-ordered it from Amazon, text me your address or send me a DM with your address in it, and I will get those books to you ASAP. Until next time, be bold and courageous. Do everything that you do with passion, and I promise you will have a life that you love. I'm talking to myself too. Bye.